Hey guys, it's Jacob back with another video. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about time management part 3. This is going to be the last video on time management that I'm going to be doing for a couple weeks now. So make sure to stay tuned for future videos so you don't miss my next installation of these in a couple weeks. Alright, so let's get right into it. So today's topic is going to be how to prioritize your assignments and the types or categories of assignments. And let's get right into it. Alright, so first we're going to start with the categories of assignments. So I like to break it down like this. Written, study. Alright, so this is going to be worksheet. I'm going to abbreviate for history. So just to show you guys my shorthand, this means work, this means sheet, this means history. Worksheet French, worksheet French. Worksheet math, worksheet math. Alright, there you go. So those would be some examples of that, like a worksheet for history, worksheet for French, science, English, math, just whatever, like stuff that you're writing for and you're not having to really retain or recall much information for. Okay, so then the other category of homework type is going to be studying, and that's going to be stuff, well, quite self-explanatory, studying. So test, review, I'm looking at quiz review as well. Anything where you're looking back on notes, I guess it could be vocab study for English or a foreign language. Just anything that you're really kind of looking at notes for and having to recall and retain information for an upcoming assessment, or maybe not an upcoming assessment. You're just, trying to reinforce something. Anything that you're looking at notes for. All right. Anyway, so for me, this category of studying is so much more daunting and is such a dark presence in my mind when I'm on the way home from school. But this category of written homework is just so light to me, and it's just normal homework, and I'm okay with it. So I know that I will be the most productive if I get this done, this done, this done, then this, this, this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alrighty. It's just for me, written first, study second. For you, it could be the other way around. But anyway, that was just a little example of how to separate your assignments into what different categories you have, and then you can apply the big task, little task, kiss the frog, strategies that I talked about in my earlier time management video number 1. Alright, so that covers the types. Alrighty. Let's move on. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to erase all of this. I could not find an auto erase mechanism, but I did try. Alright, so now we are on to the types part 2. So this, I guess, chart is going to be due tomorrow. Due days. Due days. And then, long term. Okay, so due tomorrow is probably going to be some worksheets, assuming you didn't procrastinate, which will increase your stress, so make sure not to do that. Alright, but anyway, so things that are due tomorrow would probably be like worksheets, math, worksheet, French. Due in a couple days, probably take home quiz. I don't know. Sort of like a project, but not a anything that is assigned to you on a Monday and is due that Friday or the next Monday falls into this category. Anything that your teacher gives you above a week for falls into this category. Okay, so due date in days would be take home quizzes probably, or small projects. Whoops. Okay. But then long-term stuff would be probably group projects. Oops. So just to give you an example like that. So those are the two ways that you're going to need to kind of break down your assignments when you get home so that you understand what you have to get done and, how important it is and what it is that you need to get done. Now, obviously, this stuff, although it doesn't sound like a worksheet would take priority over a group project, whoops. Since it's due tomorrow or the next day, you need to have it done and you cannot put it off. Whereas a group project, you should not ever put these off, but you won't get a bad grade if it's not done the very next day. So these are typically going to have to be done the next day, done in a couple days, have the second most importance, and long terms have the third most importance. But when it comes time for the long term projects, when it comes time for these to be submitted and turned in, if it's not done, this needs to take precedence because it's probably going to be a massive grade. So anyway, those are just some ways that you can kind of break down your projects a little more. Oops. All right, and that's just going to cover two of the types of splitting up and categorizing your homework that I use. So, whoops, what has happened here? Alrighty. So, just make sure that you're keeping up with those. Alrighty. How to prioritize, what we're going to move on to next. Okay, so for how to prioritize, okay, so let's show a mock agenda for this. Alrighty. Worksheet, study, test tomorrow, and project 2 weeks. And I will change this as I go to show examples. Alright, but let's just say that is someone's agenda. Okay, and let's say that all of the worksheets are due tomorrow. Okay, because these worksheets are due tomorrow, and they are written work, they're going to be one category. Studying is going to be its own category, and the project due in 2 weeks will also be its own category. Alrighty? Okay, so for the worksheets due tomorrow, those are going to be assigned priority and difficulty ratings / time ratings. And this is a chart that you can use, and you average the two numbers to get your end result. And this is going to be the average column. Okay? So the worksheets. Well, let's say their priority level would probably be 1 because they're due tomorrow. And they have to be done tomorrow. Their time, though, and their difficulty is probably going to be lower. So, oh, by the way, for this priority column, lower numbers are better. And for this, higher numbers are better. Alright, so difficulty and time, you're looking at, let's give these a 4 out of 10. Yeah, these are 4. So then that average, well, I guess not really average, more of add the numbers up. Whoops. More of adding the numbers up is going to be 5. Okay? So that's done. Study, test tomorrow. That is huge. So its priority is also going to be assigned to group 1 because that's probably going to be summative. Okay, and its difficulty and time consuming could range because first of all, if the difficulty of the test is very high, then you're going to have to study a lot more intensely, which could raise it. But at the same time, if the test is easy, you can understand the concept, you don't have to study as much. The other factor is how much material do you have to cover? A lot of material, more time. Less material, less time. How much have you put off? Did you procrastinate? Do you have a lot to do tonight? So a lot of factors go into this category for the tests. Okay, so we're going to say that this difficulty would probably be a 7. And then that's going to be an 8. So already you know that this is going to be a higher priority than this. Alright. And the project due in 2 weeks, okay, that priority rating is I usually do out of 3. So that priority is probably going to be a 3 out of 3, which, as I said, lower numbers are better. So that means it's not a huge deal right now. But if you have extra time, you should try to get a little work done on it. And that's difficulty in time. If you procrastinate, so this will go to both of these as an example. If you procrastinate that, then it's difficulty in time. So let's say that the bottom category was procrastination. So we'll say procra for the bottom. Okay, so in the bottom category here for the project is if you procrastinated it. Its priority is going to be a 1 out of 1, and its difficulty is going to probably be a 10. That makes its number an 11. Big deal. But if you didn't procrastinate it and it's due in 2 weeks and you've been doing a little bit, 3 and probably a 3. Because it's due in 3 weeks, if it's due in 2 weeks and you're only doing a little bit every night, and you can always consult your group members. I'm going to say this is going to be a 6 for tonight, or it could be an 11. So just to show you the difference that procrastination and time management can really make on your life. Alright, there you go. Okay, so now that you've got this priorities chart, we're going to erase the agenda, well, the fake agenda that I made up off of the top of my head. But in any case, alrighty, oops. Alright, so now I'm going to make arrows and say procrastination and on time. Okay. For the project. Alright, good to go. Okay, so then that means that your priorities are going to be test, because it has a higher number, worksheets, and project is going to be we'll say that you went with the good, responsible, on-time way, and that your project is going to get to be last priority for the night. Okay, now these are your priorities, and now that I've got that, I'm going to make room by erasing the chart. So now that you've gotten that set up, that doesn't mean that this is the concrete order you're going to do it in. Now, these two, because they have the same priority rating in the priority column, you're going to want to get your worksheets done first just to have them out of the way. So, worksheets first, then you're going to study, and then time allows, if time allows, project. But you really, really, really do need to be making progress on this project as well. So that would just be a rundown on, how to rate your assignments and how to order them. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go through this huge long chart every night when you sit down to do your work. I'm just saying go through a similar, way shorter version in your head and just use some of those tactics. All right, bye guys. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like. Bye. Thank you.